Good morning guys, how's it going? James here from Audio.etc. Back on the Jaguar XKR today. Hopefully not too much to do, I just gotta finish off the rear left speaker, get the amplifiers wired up and mounted and call that part of the job done. And then I can start working on building a subwoofer box. But since I didn't show you with the rear right one, I'm gonna show you what I did with the rear left one, just so I can give you an idea. So here's the rear left factory speaker. Same as all the others, it says Alpine on the back, and that sat in there pretty much like that, with that foam gasket around it, which I used my knife to carve away from it because, as you know, it does not fit around the Type X, and the Type X speaker doesn't fit in this hole either. Yeah, it doesn't go all the way in. Here's what to do. Get my template, lay it down, and as you can see there is only a tiny amount of material of difference that makes a big difference to mounting the speaker. So I mark that with my awl, put the power file to it and carve away the material. So yeah, that's what I'm going to crack into this morning, try and get as much done today as I can since tomorrow is theoretically my last day on it. Yeah, still got a whole subwoofer box to build, so yeah, let's get the speaker done. It's about 1.5 mils in every direction that needs to be cut off. There you go, complete circle. And I found the best way for me to achieve results and file this nice and evenly is actually to put the power file in the vise like this, lock it on so that it's turned on, and then I hold this over here and like go around like this as it's going. Because rather than putting this in the vise and then using the file to hold it, which is much heavier, I feel like that would be more likely to give me, in the past, I feel like that gives me an uneven carving, whereas doing it this way I can be much more precise. What happened there? Is it okay? That's the first fall this camera has ever taken. Lens isn't cracked. Screen's not cracked. How the hell did that happen? There we go. Got it carved out. I ended up not having to go all the full way to the line, just almost there, but it's been just enough to get the speaker to sit flush down into it. So I've got this here. Now it sits all the way down in. So it's just a tiny bit that needed to come off. Next step, put some of this foam tape on here. Put the foam tape on, and I also drilled the holes for mounting it as well. Drilled them out to 4 mils, 4 mil bolts. The woofer in. Okay, there we go. Nut and bolted up. Good to go. I can put it in the car. These freaking panels are right in the way. Okay. Plug on the crimps, which I have already done. And there we go. Cool. Bolts. There we go. Done. That speaker is in. So now I can put this big nasty panel back up. I need to reposition my body. Okay. This should pretty much all just line up and snap back into place. Forgot to put this thing in. Okay. Okay, cool. Need a screwdriver. Okay, that's that side back together. So now I can put the rear seats back in and call the inside of the car done. Get this on its hooks and then like that. Cool. And there's just these two Phillips screws here which hold it in the bottom. Okay, now just the bottom section. And then these two separate boots, no they're one. Okay, so they to go down that one, and then down this one. There, okay, cool. Back in like that. There we go. Back seat in. Nice. Before I fold these forward at some point, I'll give this area like a vacuum. Oh, there's that thing that I was looking for. Okay, time to wire up the amplifiers. I extended out the remote wires and split it off. Everything is stripped and ready to go. The monoblock is on top as I was originally going to do, and per your guys' recommendation, you all agree with me that I should put the monoblock on top. So I've got that ready to go. It's not bolted down yet because I think what I need to do is get the wiring into the bottom one first, then mount this on top of here and get the wiring into that, and then secure it all to the location. That might change, but I'll try and figure out the best way to do it. Okay, time to try and wire this up. This is going to be hard and tight, and not going to be able to see much on camera because everything's so close in here. But first thing I can do is the power wire, the shorter one. Alright, I got them all wired up. It was really hard and impossible to see what I was doing, but if I stick the camera through here, you can see we got both of our powers and grounds and remotes wired up. All the speaker wires are plugged in, the RCAs, subwoofer wire, and RCAs for the subwoofer channel. So the only thing I now have to do is put a fuse in this fuse holder. It will go live, and then we'll see if we've got some sound. Okay, take that off, loosen off these. Okay, 150 amp fuse for the 2 amps. The inbuilt fuses on these amps combine to 140 amps, so 150 is what is needed. And we just get this here. This may or may not spark. Yep, there we go, just charging the capacitors. Oh, this is going to be one of those ones where I can't just slot it in, I'm going to have to undo one of the screws, aren't I? Yep. Okay. There we go. Fuse in, let's put the cover on. Just like that. Okay, they're live. Let's go turn the key on and see if everything lights up. And even though the speaker amp is on the bottom, we'll know if it's turned on because we'll get sound. So let's turn the key on. We have sound.
Right now by
Friends, 30 April, subject to change after 12 months.
There we go. Okay, let's just check we've got balance and fader all around the right way. Balance. Tweeter's working. It's working. Sounds like the front right speaker is out of phase. Okay, so after doing my polarity tests, just using the Speaker Pop app, and also since I don't always like putting all my trust in that, I also got Pat to help me check the polarity by me simply popping the speaker at this end with a battery and seeing which way it was moving. Because even though you can get away with having all of your speakers simply in polarity with one another, I like to doubly make sure that they are in polarity firing into the vehicle. Personally, I don't like the way systems sound when the speakers are all in polarity but firing away from the listener, if you know what I mean. So as opposed to popping into the car, they pop out. I don't like the way that sounds, so I like to be 100% sure that all my speakers fire into the car. Which is why it took me just a wee bit longer, because for some reason on that Speaker Pop app that I use, positive polarity, or I call it positive polarity when it's coming into the car, firing in the right direction, that shows up as negative on the app, and vice versa for the other way. So that's cool. I just got to remember to check for negative when I'm doing those polarity tests. But anyway, they're all in phase now. What was out of phase? The front right woofer, the front right tweeter, and the front left tweeter. I don't really know how. My guess is that the wiring between the amp location and the tweeters flipped at some stage in the factory wiring harness, and they probably did that to make the factory tweeters out of phase. Some manufacturers do that. I don't like it, so I make sure everything's in polarity. And if someone ever owns this car, and they are one of those people who just definitely want out of phase tweeters, all you have to do is go up to the crossovers, the Type X crossovers, and there's a little jumper which you can flip around to make the tweeters out of polarity. But to begin with, I prefer them to be in polarity. And then the front right woofer being out of polarity, that must have just been me getting my colours crossed over. But this is why we do the checks, because you do make mistakes. So you do the checks with an app, and then also visibly, physically with your testing equipment, you know. So you've got to do them. But anyway, they're all in phase now. Just playing a bit of music, getting the speakers, you know, getting some first miles on them. And what I might do is the test speaker. The gains on the 4-channel amp are definitely set way too high. I haven't touched the controls, but they've come straight out of that MR2, and the gains on them are definitely too high already. Got this plugged into the sub wire, and we do have movement, actually. Cool, so we know that that's working, we know that the RCAs are working. That's good. Everything is wired up correctly and running. I can get this mounted. What do I need? I definitely need my Phillips. Magnetize it. I wonder if it's going to be easier to secure the top amp to the bottom amp first, or secure the bracket to the car first. Probably isn't going to probably be easier to secure the top amp first, I think. And these bolts only just fit through these gaps. That's why I magnetized my screw driver. Oh crap. Far out, man, these bolts have seen some strippage. So now this just has to go straight down. There we go. Yep, that appears to be threading in, but it doesn't seem to be. I can't tell if it's just spinning or, oh no, there we go, it's getting tighter. Okay, cool. Next one. There we go. I'll just get the other two in. Okay, there we go. The two amps are locked together with their 4 bolts. The only thing that I unfortunately do not have is the chrome caps that go on top of here. It's really unfortunate. In the MR2, they just weren't there. I've looked around our shop for any spares, and I can't find them. So that's really unfortunate, but yeah, we just don't have anything to go in there. But oh well, I don't think it'll be a problem. So now the fun part, trying to get this backed up into that hole there with all these wires coming out behind it, especially with this 4 gauge. This 4 gauge is going to be the hardest part because it's so stiff. But I'll give it a crack. It's the only space I can really put it. Now, fun part. Need to feed the RCAs back up this hole as I do it. Doing good so far. Do need to get these feet underneath here. That one goes there. Goes over here. The right side's going to be tricky, but we might be alright. Make sure that goes down. I think it might just fit. Oh yeah, there we go. I think it's threading in. Okay, the right one is threading in, so that's good. Now it needs to move over there. Now getting this one in on the left. All these wires in the way is tricky to get itself. Is that the hole there? Come on, move over. Is it going in the hole yet? Alright, can't really see what I'm doing. Okay, that one's threading in. Sweet. Okay. There we go. And this one. There we go. Oop, give me my camera. They are in. Bolts are in. And that one, it's hard to see because it's in the dark, but it's there. Behind here. Okay, enough. Everything's still powered up and everything, so that's a good sign. They're fine. Yeah, the grounds are just the hardest part because they're so stiff and short. Realistically, I probably could have got away with using 8 gauge wires since they're so short if I really wanted to. But they're PDX amps. Why not use 4 gauge, right? Why not? They're PDX. They deserve the power. They're very thirsty, I'll give them that. Right, so now let's see if I can do some preliminary tuning of these things because they definitely aren't set up right. Let's have a look and see what they're set on. Tricky little screws. Oh, the gains are set at nominal, so that's alright for now. Filter off, crossover, input channels 1 plus 3 / 2 plus 4. I think I need to switch this over to 1 and 3. Oh, and no, channel 3 and 4 is just 3 and 4 input. That's right, that's just for the channels 3 and 4. So that's good where that is now. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at what this one is at. I want to make sure the bass boost is turned down, if there is one, because you guys know I hate the bass boost dials. They're just subwoofer killers in my opinion. Gain is at the nominal point, 0.1 volt to 1 volt, or 1 volt to 8 volts. That needs to be on that side. Subsonic filter. Oh, this is good. We've got a selection of off 15 Hz and 30 Hz. I think we will definitely put it on the 15 Hz mark. And that there's 30, we want just 15. 15 Hz subsonic filter. Low pass filter I'm going to have opened up to 100, I think. Yeah, we'll go to 100 for the low pass filter, but I'm going to go lower on the built-in one on the stereo, which we'll go and set up now. Okay. Oh. So for the filters, crossover, front, frequency, we'll go to 50 Hertz, slope, 18 dB. Rear frequency will make a bit higher because those rear speakers aren't in a sealed cavity, they're just floating there. So we'll go to like 100 Hertz I think for those, and put the slope at 12. And then the subwoofer frequency is going to be 80 because it's a 12-inch. Slope 12 dB, pretty standard. And that's obviously just like the preliminary tuning. That's like kind of what, like your starting benchmark. So all channels are working good, they're in polarity, the gain, everything's pretty much set there. I can start putting the boot back together. There we go, guys. Got the boot completely back together. The subwoofer wire is just coming out of a little hole that I made there, so that's ready to go. The reason that there looks like it's not sitting down, this is sitting all the way down. It's just for some reason this piece of carpet I think is just a wee bit warped or old or something, so it sits down a bit lower for some reason. Just wants to. But yeah, this went back in fine, which I was slightly concerned about because right under there is the fuse holder, but no, it was all good. So yeah, everything's good. Only piece that is missing I've noticed is normally there is a little piece of carpet which like plugs onto there and goes along the underside here, completely seals it off, but I don't know where that is. It wasn't in the car. So, oh well, that's all good. Yeah, they're looking real good though. Pretty well placed. I'm real happy with how that's turned out. That's pretty much exactly what I envisioned. It's a good thing those slots were there. Sweet. Okay guys, so the amps are like done apart from their final tune, but everything's looking real good. Real happy with how those turned out. Moving on to the subwoofer side of things now. What I've done is masked off a line the whole way around, which is going to be like my the line of my front panel. So I want to build a piece of wood which is going to basically completely enclose this whole area, but then behind that there'll be just a box, and I'm just going to build a floor which fits in here, a back wall, a side wall, and another side wall here. Like all this area in here probably won't get used. I'll probably just put a straight wall right there, and then this will plug into the box right there, and then there'll be a lid, obviously a roof. Realistically, I haven't got much time to do this box, so it is going to be quite a quick slap together thing. I'll just make sure that I use lots and lots and lots of glue, you know, because yeah, I don't have time to make all the pieces so that all the wood meets up perfectly. So I'll probably, since it's going to be a funny shaped box anyway, so I'll probably just start cutting pieces and laying them out, and then when I assemble it I'm just going to use heaps of glue, and I'll put like cork and stuff in it as well. Sorry, like silicone RTV, not cork like Doug uses. Anyway, that's what I'm on to now. Building time. I need to clear all this mess here though, because all of our stuff got moved by the builders from this area to here, and they haven't put it back. So I need to clear all of this area so I can work in it. Okay guys, so I've made myself like a template piece out of core flute, just plastic stuff, trying to get the shape as close to what was in here as possible. I think I did an alright enough job. Once it's carpeted, hopefully it will look a bit better. But yeah, I'm hoping that this will be like the last sort of panel to go in, and I can put it in to kind of lock it in. I'll go behind this corner here, so that goes behind there, and then the wood will just sort of push up against that back wall there, and I'm going to try and find a way to secure it to this back thing here in some way. I don't know. I'm working it out as I go because I haven't got much time. So that's that piece made, and then I'll put the subwoofer somewhere along the lines of here, either back or maybe I'll put it towards the back. That could look cool. Yeah, put it towards the back. I think that'll fit. Oh jeez, it's heavy. Can't go too far to the right. Yeah, but it can go there. Okay, so that's that piece kind of done. Now I need to start making pieces and sort of stacking it in there. Okay, so by the magic of video editing, I have converted this plastic baffle into a wooden one. So that's fitting in there pretty well, I think. I'm happy with that. And then the subwoofer is going to go somewhere around about there. I could go more this way if I wanted, but I can't go any further that way, because where that tape is there, that's where kind of the end wall is going to end up lining up with. So this can only really go about that far over, which is what I think I'm going to do. So I can get this out now. Just comes out from this end. And this will obviously be like the last piece to go on. Okay, so that line there is where the wall behind it should meet up with. So I've positioned this template vertically center, and I've got these screw holes here just to the left of where that wall will start being. So these will still just go through that wood and not go into the wall. I believe I've got that about as vertically correct as possible. Maybe a touch this way. There we go. Marked out the outer diameter, the inner diameter, the holes. Now I would really love to be able to like recess it in and make it look all cool like that, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough time for all of that. It would involve me having another, what I'd have to do if I was going to do that is cut out this whole outer diameter and then put another piece of wood directly behind it for the subwoofer to mount on. Actually, if I did that though, what that could mean is I could just build the box, shove it in there, or secure it, shove it in there, and then that panel can secure to the box. That's actually not a bad idea. Just means that the box, volume-wise, becomes slightly smaller. Volume-wise, I would lose about this much by 18 millimeters depth. Don't know how much air that is, but hopefully it wouldn't make too much difference. It would just mean it was in 18 mils deeper. Because you can see my outline there that of the box that I'm going to make. Let me start making some of the pieces first, and then I'll decide whether or not I'm going to mount the subwoofer straight through this piece here, or another piece behind this, and then have it recessed into this thing here. Don't know, maybe, I don't know. Okay, so it's going pretty well, guys. So far I've got the baffle made, and a floor and a roof and the back wall, but no sides yet. Here's what we do. Here's what's going so far. So obviously got the baffle, which comes out from this end, like that. And then, as you can see here, I'm just using that piece of cardboard there to space the height of it, because this is the cutout diameter of the subwoofer, so we have to be able to fit that in between these walls. And there isn't this much height at the back of the cavity, so what it's going to end up being is the back wall isn't as tall as the front wall will be. So it'll be kind of oddly shaped, as I explained. But you can see I've got like the floor, the lid, and the back wall made up, and now I'm just going to start working on some side wall pieces. So what I think I'll do is, I think I'll just make these side walls bend this angle up just enough for this to be able to fit in. So I can just make this vertical height here the exact measurement of that. But it's going pretty good so far. I will, when it comes time to, like before I go to assemble it, I will use the table saw to try and adjust the angle on some of the points where the wood meets. Like that edge meeting there, I will adjust that slightly on the back wall so that it sits a bit cleaner. And what else? Also the side wall is going to have to meet that back wall easily. But this corner here is a right angle, and then these corners here will be right angles as well. Oh, this edge here will need to be cut a wee bit to become dead vertical as well. And then once the box is completely made, I'm going to run the whole thing around the router table with the curved edge, so that it like pushes against all the curves of the carpet nicer than, you know, sharp edges do. But we're getting there. It's going all right. Boom, guys, boom, it's done, it's in the car. Get it out of here. No, it's not finished. Sorry to skip ahead like to the end of the video, pretty much. But yeah, I've just been working flat out, pedal to the metal, all afternoon, building the box as I go. No method, just madness, just go, go, go. I'll show you. Moment, it's all in there. I'm just doing a test, seeing how much bass we actually get out of my tiny little box, and it's actually working really well. I did have to tune the gain up on the amp a wee bit, but other than that, it's actually producing deep bass, which is good. So let's get the sub out. I'm only holding him with 4 screws at the moment. Unplug the speaker wire. Put some tape on this in case it touches anything. Now, when I do the final install, this panel will go in last. The box will already be in, and then the panel will go in after. But because I've got this piece of plastic here out of the way, I can actually get the whole thing in and out just as it is. So I'll do that. Just comes out like that. And then undo my connector, take the box out. So, here's my box. So yeah, I've just been flat out building this box all afternoon, just going for it. Fucking floor it. So first thing I'll do is, well, first of all, here's what it all is like assembled. There's a cutout there because that's where the rear tail light goes. There's a little bit of a lip there. As you can see, I've got a nice soft round over on the whole front edge. And on the back edge, I've got a rabbit, is it? A rabbit cut there for my carpet to go against. So that's gonna be good for when I upholster it. Let's get these screws out. So all of this is glued and brad nailed together, and this piece is gonna be screwed on. Okay, now this should just off of here. First of all, on the back here, as well as that rabbit, I've got this big foam gasket here, which seals to that really well, and obviously makes space because you can actually see where the wood has been in the track there. So that's good to know that it is sealing up nice and tight, because obviously that is going to have to be screwed on whilst everything is in the car, which means I can't do any wood glue or silicone or anything like that. So that foam gasket should work well. Now here's the box. Speaker wire, I've already stapled some Dacron in, so that's done. On the side, I put one of these simple screw-unscrew connectors, pretty easy. You'll see that the whole box, every corner is rounded over. Originally the wood that I found was already painted this metallic silver, and so I just painted black in the corners. So yeah, it's a pretty simple, weird geometric shape. You'll notice that it's, I don't know, looking from this side you can see that it's like up on an angle there, as well as at this side, square back, and I made all of the edges match one another, almost. Just that edge there and that edge there, which are a wee bit mean. But everything else meets up really well, so it's obviously working well. There's some double screw holes here. That means that I didn't get my screws lined up when I did it up last time. That's interesting. But otherwise, yeah, working really well. Made good bass. And I think that's everything I need to show you because you'd already seen everything else in the car. But yeah, it's built. So yeah, that's what I've been doing all afternoon. Just building this box, test fitting it, carving it, everything like that. As easy as it was to get that hole that size for the subwoofer, I then realized that I would have to take some material out of the actual box in order for it to fit in, but that's okay. Like, this has just been one of those boxes where it wasn't like the Corvette box where I've had just weeks of time to work on it if I want. I've got to bang this thing out in like 2 days flat, and it's not exactly just your regular brick box that's going to sit in the boot. It has to fit into that gap. So yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. I think I've made some pretty good progress today. Tomorrow I am simply going to carpet that front panel. I'll find some carpet which is similar to what's in the boot here. I probably won't be able to find an exact match, but I'll find some black carpet or grey or something like that, and I'll carpet that panel. And then this box, the box will go in first. It pretty much just sits in there. And then you put the panel on, screw it all in, and then the subwoofer goes in and it's done. And then I've got to do a final tune on the amps, get everything set up the way I like it for a good sound. But it's sounding good already at the moment. I did have to turn down the speaker gains and turn up the subwoofer gain a wee bit. I put that down to my 12-inch sub being in a really small box and the Type X speakers being highly sensitive and making a lot of noise. So, but otherwise, tuning one amp down and one amp up, that's not a big deal. I don't think I'm distorting, it sounds pretty clean. So yeah, that's what I've been doing today, guys. Again, sorry to jump to the end, but I've just been flooring it non-stop. In fact, did I have lunch? Yes, I did. It's all good. So yeah, thank you for watching today's video, guys. Oh look, it's the bike sort of thing. Oh, and if any of you wondering about my work situation, I'm not going to talk about it in this video, but I have got some news and it is good. So yeah, I'm excited for what's coming for me. I'm going to be in a good position, I believe. I don't want to talk about it too much just yet. I'll wait till everything's ironed out and sorted. But yeah, good things coming my way, hopefully. This bike. Oh, I need to get back. I need to bike more. Okay, thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Choose to be happy, and I will catch you in tomorrow's video. Kite Ano. In fact, I pronounced it wrong last time. Someone pulled me up for being white. Kite Ano. No, what was that? That was the wrong accent. Oh. How to do a nice Maori accent without trying to sound overly Maori. Kite Ano. Ano. Kite Ano. Is that right? Kite Ano. By the way, for all the people who don't really know what that means, it's I don't know the exact translation, but it's basically like goodbye, see you later, have a good afternoon, peace. Kite Ano. Thanks, guys.